There are discussions, and there will be postmortems about whether the Democratic Party was too left or engaged in causes that were too woke. But in the end, it is the response, not perhaps to that, but just to the idea that this country is changing from people who feel endangered and who are creating new reasons to make excuses for what is fundamentally bigotry, right, misogyny, and to some degree the hubris that America can't go wrong. But back in the Civil War, here's an interesting question. Because back in the Civil War, there were a whole bunch of Southerners who justified this on the basis of Southern chivalry, on the basis of states' rights, everything but slavery. And most of the people who fought and died in that war had no particular personal relationship to slavery. They did not hold slaves, and yet they bought wholesale into this idea. This time we had people talking about, you're not hearing us, you're invested in issues we don't want, it's inflation. A lot of it was bad information. It was lies being believed, but most people would not acknowledge what you are saying and what James Baldwin is saying, that we are still preserving a lie. How do you have that conversation with people whose vote preserved a lie, preserved misogyny, preserved racism, preserved the patriarchy, and preserved the hubris, who don't actually believe that's what they did? And again, my point is, in the Civil War, there are people who engaged in it thinking they were fighting for something else, and they were not. I want to ask you about that in this moment, for this mission that you are discussing, you and I are discussing this morning, for the future. Do we have the leaders in place to do what we need to do, to take this mission forward, to say, finally, let us put this myth and this lie about who we are and our past away and do something else, be the best we can be? Are we in a position to do that right now?
Well, I don't know if we are, but we must be.
Yeah, no, and it's us. It is us. I mean, that's the hard part about this. This wasn't a mistake this time around, and it's important for us to understand that we have done this to ourselves. You may not have, and I may not have at the ballot box or in our efforts, but we as a country are making some bad decisions that we are now going to have to face up to. And maybe that's the good part, Eddie, that maybe now that reckoning will be upon us, because some bad things are going to happen in the next few years, and the fight must continue. And I thank you for it, my friend. I thank you for everything.